Well, a warm welcome to you. Welcome to today's talk. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm a little concerned. As a matter of fact, I'm more than a little concerned because I've just updated my sort of data set on excess deaths throughout various countries. And I'm pleased to say that the latest data shows that deaths are about 4% below what we would expect in Romania at the end of 2022. And all the other major developed Western countries that I've looked at have excess deaths that are higher. Let's look at them now, and we're going to look at this from our World in Data. Our World in Data is an excellent site. We've used it many times. There's the link, and this is a direct quote from their site, Research and Data to Make Progress Against the World's Largest Problems. And they do look at many of the world's largest problems, but this one is remarkably concerning today. Let's get straight into it. This is the data for Australia. So we see that the excess deaths have been up. So this is the end. This is 2021 here. So they've been up for all of 2022. Now, this is the pattern that we're seeing around the world. This is in the time of Omicron, where deaths from COVID were really quite low. We know that code is not accounting for all of these deaths, and we've looked at statins and blood pressure medications lately, and we find that they don't account for all of these deaths either. There's other factors at play here, probably several factors, but let's carry on looking at the data. So that's Australia. Okay, that data is only up to about the end of 2022, so a little out of date, but it's what we've got from our World in Data now. This is again up till the end of August and September. Canada really needs to get them to act together a bit quicker on data here, but we see it's about 3% above the average, whereas Australia was about 9% above the average. Now, this is Denmark, 30 above the average. This is absolutely incredible, the percentage difference between the reported number of weekly or months in 20 to 2022 and the average number of deaths in the same period for 2050 to 2019. The reported number might not count all the deaths that occurred due to incomplete coverage or delays in reporting. I don't think that's the case in Denmark, unlike other countries. Their data is actually pretty up to date and a very comprehensive indeed. So there we go, 30 excess mortality deaths from all causes compared to the average over previous years. This is England and Wales. So we're on round about 20% here at the moment above what we would expect. But more concerningly, we see it's been up all the time, with the official data at the moment showing about a 9% increase in deaths in the United Kingdom overall for 2022. Well, over 60,000 deaths. Just imagine 60,000 people had been killed in a terrorist attack or an earthquake. This would be rather big news, but because 60,000 people have died mostly at home, people aren't talking about it. Well, we are talking about it, and we want answers, so that's England and Wales. This is Finland, so Finland's excess deaths are about 9% at the moment, but again, we see this pattern throughout 2022. It's been higher than we would expect by quite a margin. This is France currently. France, okay, it's been above 4. Of course, we know these peaks here are due to the coronavirus. They're not surprising, but we see that France is currently about 25 above what we would expect in terms of excess mortality. Germany is about 44 above, so a massive spike in Germany is 44 above what we would expect. This is a matter of massive concern. Why isn't this being discussed all over the place? Esther McVey is the only person to bring it up in the British Parliament recently, and she was basically, I think we'd have to say she was pooed by the minister, which was unfortunate. So there we go. Germany, massive excess mortality. This is Hungary. Now, Hungary, there is probably about 16 excess mortality. The excess mortality in quite a few Eastern European countries is somewhat lower than in Western European countries. And we'll be looking at ways to investigate that in a minute. Ireland is about 90 of the about 19 excess deaths at the moment. And again, we see the bin high throughout 2022. No surprise about the peaks in the pandemic, of course, but it's surprising that they are still so much higher in Ireland. Netherlands excess deaths in Netherlands, we're looking about 36%. They're 37. So again, another great increase, been high throughout not quite all of 2022. It was actually lower for a little bit there, but for most of it, it's been higher in the Netherlands. This is Norway at the moment. Norwegian deaths are about 20 on for 30 higher in, again, January to January 2023 data. New Zealand, slightly more today than we've had from New Zealand, which is good to see. Excess deaths, they're about 16, 17 higher in New Zealand. This is Poland, about 22% higher than we would expect. This is Portugal. Portugal is not quite so bad, around about 4% higher than we would expect. 2022, and not overly convinced, to tell you the truth, about the veracity of the Romanian data. Scotland, we're looking at about 616 above the average. This is South Korea, massive peak that's truly is peak in South Korea. Actually, the passively vaccination, about 2% excess deaths. In Sweden, we're on about 9% excess deaths. Switzerland, around about 15 excess deaths in Switzerland. And Taiwan, about 25 excess deaths in Taiwan. I mean, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? It's just incredible, but why is this not the main international story? Our people are dying in the United States. Well, again, high throughout. Well, that's all this to the United States again. A lot of people died in the United States during the Omicron, but it's remained high throughout all of 2022. Thought so. September, October, they'd updated that. So that's a 2-month gap. That's 1 month. Gap there, October, November, December. So that's a 2-month gap there when they uploaded December, January. So that's a 1-month gap. Then January, February, March. So that's a 3-month gap there. They uploaded March, April, May. So that's a 2-month gap there. And now we have an 8-month gap now. So it's now 8 months since they've uploaded, because it really would be good if they would upload and let us know how. How effective do these vaccines have been? Why on earth haven't they done that? Why aren't they publishing this data to show us how many lives have been saved? By COVID vaccination, as always. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Quantum Stellar for more informative information. Thanks for stopping by.